You've all heard of pay-to-win Minecraft servers before, servers which offer a variety of microtransactions allowing you to gain an advantage over others. But have you ever heard of a server which is not only pay-to-win, but is also pay-to-play? A Minecraft server where most of its game modes are locked behind unavoidable paywalls. A Minecraft server which potentially has some of the most expensive pay-to-win microtransactions on the entire marketplace. A Minecraft server which is hiding reskinned basic Java server game modes that are somewhat broken and bugged behind price tags, and a Minecraft server which by my estimates has potentially made upwards of $5 million. Today we explore Mineville, one of, if not the first and only, pay-to-play Minecraft server. Let's begin. This is Mineville, one of the few Bedrock partnered servers. It's a server which sees around 500 to 600 concurrent players daily. Pretty popular, although it was supposedly even more popular back in 2019, where it hit a record play count of over 27,000 players. The server was originally named In PvP or Instant PvP, and had a greater focus on minigames, later becoming Mineville in 2022, alongside the server's switch to more roleplay and persistent game modes like Prison and Skyblock, although the PvP minigames were added back later last year. So, pay to play, you're probably thinking that's just really pay to win or has extra content you need to pay for, but no, let me show you. Let's join Skyblock. But first, do you want a slim, sleek, high quality phone that is great for gaming and doesn't feel like a big clunky brick in your pocket? Well then, the new REDMAGIC 10 Air, REDMAGIC's lightest, slimmest and most comfortable phone yet, is just what you've been waiting for. The REDMAGIC 10 Air is 10% lighter and slimmer than the REDMAGIC 10 Pro, and let me tell you, I immediately noticed this thing felt super light when I first opened it up and held it. It even slid into my pocket really nicely. And don't worry, as despite the phone being slimmer and lighter, the screen is still just as big and features a silky smooth 120Hz refresh rate, making any gaming you do on the phone feel just as light as the phone itself. Which, speaking of, here we are in Minecraft Bedrock Edition, getting a very solid 120 FPS, no problem whatsoever. And if we download PoJav Launcher so we can play Java, we also get a very consistently high frame rate, easily above 100. I can even join my Minecraft server, which has quite a detail heavy spawn, and I'm getting better frame rate than a good portion of the player base who are on PC. To make gameplay feel even smoother, we can also use the phone's inbuilt shoulder triggers for more comfortable gaming, which feels really nice because the phone is so light. You can edit a variety of game-specific settings in the game space, REDMAGIC special game customization area, featuring a variety of plugins and settings to make your games run as well as possible. With a 6000 mAh battery, almost double the size of the latest iPhone, up to 512GB of storage, and also up to 16GB of RAM, which is probably the same or more than some of your computers, the REDMAGIC 10 Air is great value for money. It's a really good all-rounder phone, guys. It's nice and lightweight for day-to-day use, but it also has great specs for mobile gaming. The dual 50MP camera is even pretty good quality too. Be sure to check out the new REDMAGIC 10 Air using my link in the description below. As you can see, things look normal at first. It looks like a typical Java Skyblock server. However, if we try to enter this end portal, which is what you need to enter to create or teleport to your island, you'll see we get flung away and a GUI pops up, prompting us to purchase the Skyblock Pass or the Premium Pass. That's right, you cannot play Skyblock unless you buy at minimum the Skyblock Pass, which if we go to their marketplace store, costs you 830 Minecoins, roughly $5 to $6. You have to pay to play Skyblock, something which has been free on Java and Java servers for over 10 years. Now you might be thinking, surely nobody is paying for this, right? Wrong. The Skyblock Pass has over 22,000 ratings, meaning at the very minimum, 22,000 people have purchased it, and considering most who do purchase it don't leave a review, it's likely that the number of people who have bought access to Skyblock on this server is 10 times this number. That means at the very minimum, they have made $112,000 off of selling access to Skyblock, and if we multiply that by 10, considering most people won't leave a review, that's over $1 million. You have to remember that Microsoft takes a cut from all Bedrock partnered servers, and they have to pay devs and server operation costs too, but that is still a rather crazy amount. Now, you'd think that with the game mode being pay to play, that would mean that they wouldn't need additional microtransactions, as they can charge people to play the server in order to fund the server's operation and development, right? Wrong again. Skyblock also has a special premium pass, which costs 4,280 Minecoins, or roughly $25 to $30, depending on the Minecoin bundles you buy. And And buying this VIP bundle allows you to fly, increases your co-op mode player slots from 2 to 5, gives you premium islands, as well as an in-game exclusive Admiral rank. How awesome, right? Over 13,000 people at minimum have bought this, by the way, meaning that at minimum they have earned over 325,000 US dollars from just this pass alone, and using our 10 times estimate from earlier, likely over $3 million. There's even more microtransactions too. You can even buy 1 million Skybucks, the currency Skyblock uses, for 4,000 mine coins too. So they are just straight up directly pay to win and pay to play at the same time. At minimum, Skyblock as a mode alone on the server has made them about $400,000 to $500,000, potentially over $4 to $5 million with our 10 times estimate. It's pretty funny and sad at the same time actually, as you can see on the server that there's a bunch of people without access just sitting in the end portal, sadly looking down and wondering why they can't play. Anyways, I begrudgingly coughed up the money and bought access to Skyblock so I could show it off to you all, and well, apparently there's even premium islands which cost $10 each too, that basically defeat most of the point of Skyblock by having all the work done for you already. I wasn't about to spend any more money though. Upon beginning, well, it's just basic Skyblock, but I had to pay for it instead. I went through this portal to see if there was anything worth the $5 on the other side and found an auction house with only one player selling a wooden pickaxe, then another spawn or hub area where it's just a bunch of additional microtransactions. There's airships, island boosters, and what's this? You have to pay another $5 just to have the in-game vanilla Minecraft music on your island? That is outrageous. Besides that, there was just some basic NPCs that you could buy basic multiplayer Skyblock items from, such as spawners and other farmables. At least the nether was a bit custom. It had some PvE and supposedly some bosses, although when I went to try to spawn one, I one-shot it and then I couldn't summon it again. Not really sure. But one thing I am sure of is that this Skyblock is not worth spending $5 to access, especially since it seems like everything else cool is locked behind further pay-to-win paywalls. Be sure to subscribe, by the way. I wasted a good deal of money on this server, as you'll soon see. No pressure, of course. So, besides having to outright pay for access to a very basic version of Skyblock, surely the server has other game modes that are worth paying for. Next, let's explore Evolutions. Evolutions is a mode which, once again, you can't actually play unless you pay. It's even more restrictive than Skyblock 2, it won't even let you walk around and see half the lobby before reminding you that peasants aren't allowed to join. The Evolution Pass costs the same as the Skyblock one at 830 mine coins, or about $5 to $6, has been purchased a minimum of 12,000 times, earning the server around $60,000 and $600,000 using our 10 times estimate. There's also the VIP version of the pass, which once again costs 4,000 mine coins, giving you access to every single pet and other useful consumables, but this one isn't as popular, with only 130 odd reviews. So let's get started and play the mode then. Another $5 begrudgingly spent, and now I get to pick one of the pets who I assume I will be evolving. Of course I had to pick the dragon. Look how badass that looks. Well, never mind then. That's right, the dragon costs another $10 additional. I guess we'll just pick the dog. Now to begin playing, the first task I was told to do was to head to Area A, which was this mine and collect bone blocks, which were dog treats, to sell for gold to upgrade my pet. And wait a minute, is this just a reskinned version of Prison? Where the hell is my dog that I'm supposed to be evolving anyways? After a few minutes of boring gameplay, I got enough gold to level up, and now I could head to Area B. Surely I could get my $5 worth here. And wait a minute, this is just another prisons mine. 5,000 gold? Screw that, I'm not doing this again. Where even is my damn dog? Wait, I am the dog? I even went and checked Area C, and you guessed it, it's another prisons mine. This is not Evolutions. It's an extremely basic prisons mode that has been reskinned, where you just earn money to level up and gain abilities which just help you mine faster. I checked on YouTube and all the other areas including D and further are just the same thing with different blocks and more grinds required to level up. What even is the point of this? What a waste of $5. I cannot believe over 12,000 people paid for this. Since we are already on the topic, I guess let's next check out the server's actual Prisons game mode. Prisons is one of the quintessential Minecraft Java game modes. I'm sure we have all played it at least once. Would this mode be worth the $5 to $6 over 10,000 people have spent? That's $50,000 minimum, and 500,000 roughly once again, mind you. Well, one thing's to note, and that's the fact that like Skyblock, this is a very basic version of Prisons, a far cry from the complexity and content-rich versions that are also infamous on Java. You basically have a mine, a place you can sell the stuff you mine, and a shop, and that's about it. Once you get to the next mine and next level, it's just the same thing over and over for the most part. You can buy special tools and armor to speed up the process, which of course means you can once again buy a variety of microtransactions, such as this boss pickaxe bundle for 4,100 mine coins, which gives you some pay to win tools and items. They've got quite a few of these bundles as well, mind you, and even sell individual tools such as this 400 use lightning pickaxe, which will cost you about $7 or $8 and has been purchased at minimum almost 2,000 times. Let's also not forget the one-time use $20 charge to creeper pickaxe bomb, bought at minimum 500 times too. Prisons easily seems to have the most microtransactions of any of the server's game modes, and they are some of the most expensive yet most purchased too. Now, they did have a free prison weekend, but that ended while I was writing the script, so if any of you were hoping to hop on and grind, be ready to get your wallets out. If you don't buy the prison's pass, you only have access to the first mine and won't be able to level up, and there's not really much point buying access because it's just the same crap all over again. I checked on YouTube, and even all the way up to the H mine, the gameplay is still identical. You just mine and sell to the NPC and do basically nothing else. It doesn't have most of what made prisons on Java fun, which is a player-run economy, player-run shops and markets, custom plots or cells, and PvP. It's just the bare bones basics of what makes prison, with them littering microtransactions everywhere to try to get you to make as many purchases as possible. They even have a damn battle pass with some of the goofiest cosmetics I've ever seen. Also, anytime someone spends money on certain microtransactions like the creeper bomb, it throws up this annoying GUI on your screen, interrupting whatever you are doing. Now, there are some custom features like this wither boss which spawns right in the middle of the prison, but it doesn't really do anything. The other few players online the server didn't seem to even care when it spawned and just kept mining. Not like it was that interesting anyways. All you are supposed to do is spam right click on these cannons, which shoot it with TNT and slowly chip away its health. What engaging gameplay. Prisons also really made me notice how dead the server felt, despite having over 500 people online. Like, I get that there are multiple modes splitting the player base up, but as we've seen so far, and as you'll see with the server's other modes later, nobody seems to talk in the chat. There's no in-game economy or trading. I mean, this wither boss fight was the first time I actually saw other players actively playing a mode. It feels like I just paid to play with NPCs. Let's move on to our next mode now, Farming Simulator, which luckily is free to play without a pass up until May 19th. How awesome is that? I don't have to waste $5 again. After that period runs out though, you'll of course have to buy another $5 to $6 access pass to continue playing, purchased a minimum of 2,300 times, earning the server a minimum of $11,000 or about $110,000 using our estimate. Additionally, there is once again of course a VIP bundle with some advantageous perks like extra farm plots which cost 3,420 mine coins, about $20, although this one has no reviews, so maybe nobody has actually bought it yet. Anyways, while the mode might be free to play temporarily, the special different themed farms sure aren't, and will each set you back about 1,600 mine coins or about $10. So we'll just stick with the basic farm for now. There's also additional pay to win microtransactions in the form of boosts, as well as a scarecrow who will automatically harvest and replant your crops, as well as complete other tasks for you, all of which costing relatively expensive prices. Nothing is cheap here. As for the gameplay, well, I legitimately got stuck on the tutorial. It told me to plant some crops it gave me in my farm plots, but then when I tried to interact with said plots and plant anything, it wouldn't work. Then it told me I had to buy or convert a plot into farmland, but there was absolutely no way I could do that. So I tried going back to the game mode spawn or hub, but guess what? I couldn't do that until I finished the tutorial, which I couldn't finish. I was basically soft locked. Eventually I relogged, which seemed to magically spawn my farming plot in and actually allowed me to play now. Basically, all you do is plant crops, earn money by harvesting them and putting them in the soul chest, buy more crops, buy more land, make more money, and so on and so forth. It's a pretty straightforward game mode. There is some NPCs you can interact with and buy stuff from. There is an area you can fish and mine. Is it worth $5 to $6 to play? Maybe, you can be the judge of that, I guess. Should you buy a bunch of the mode's pay-to-win microtransactions, which individually each cost more than the mode itself? Once again, I'll leave that up to you. Let's now move on to one of the server's more unique game modes, something I haven't seen anywhere else in Minecraft before, Highschool Roleplay. Another $5 to $6 pass, another 4,500 purchases minimum made, and of course there's another 4,000 Minecoin VIP pass too that somehow even makes Highschool Roleplay pay to win by allowing you to skip classes and get extra credit. Also, did I mention that you have to pay an additional $5 to access the special High School Lounge? You can even spend $5 to buy more extra credit, which I guess is the game mode's in-game currency. I don't remember having to do any of this in high school. Oh, and also, for $1 you can start a food fight, which is literally just dropping food on the ground for 60 seconds. This is so unbelievably dumb. Anyways, one of the good things about Highschool Roleplay is that there is a bit of content, or more specifically, classes you can access for free. Now, these are all very mundane. I mean, one of the classes is literally mining. Wait a minute, this is just prisons all over again. You have to mine 50 cobblestone as the first lesson to, I guess, level up and reach lesson 2, although after doing so, you have to spend money on the high school enrollment pass in order to continue playing. So you basically get about 2 minutes worth of free and boring reskinned prisons gameplay. Now, there are another 2 free classes you can briefly try, but it seems the more interesting ones are locked behind a paywall. Then, the final paywalled game mode on the server is known as Cookcraft. Now, of all the game modes we've seen so far, this one is actually the most unique, but will it once again be worth the $5 entry fee? Well, before we check that out, let's check out the game mode's monetization, which once again has a 4,000 Minecoin VIP pass that somehow has made cooking in Minecraft pay to win. You can even spend about $15 to buy special meals, which apparently give you boosts in-game. Hilariously, this in-game meal probably costs more than one in real life. You can also hire chefs for 1 week for the low price of only $5. They should really unionize and get better pay. You can also boost your restaurant's productivity for money too. Anyways, despite the number of microtransactions once again, this is the mode I actually had the most fun playing. The gameplay loop is pretty basic. You set up a chest, selling a specific thing, then customers come in and you sell them the items, preventing thieves from stealing from you. There's a bunch of custom textures, even including these anime waifu customers, and the mode reminded me a lot of games I used to play years ago, like Papa's Pizzeria. I was actually beginning to enjoy myself, but as I finished the first day of business, went to the market to buy a new recipe to cook and sell to customers, I was once again hit with a paywall. That's right, you get a solid 5 minutes worth of Cookcraft gameplay done before being forced to pay. From then on, it's mostly the same thing over and over again anyways, a shame to say the least, but hey, maybe this mode is worth the $5 entry fee. So, those are the server's main modes. There are a few free modes, but these are primarily generic minigames like TNT Run, Skywars, Bed Wars, and Spleef. Pretty uninteresting stuff overall. And here's the thing about the server. I think the pay-to-play model is really interesting. It's something that won't ever work on Java unfortunately, but it's quite cool to see it tried out on Bedrock, the only place it can work. That being said, when you are paying $5 to access game modes, which are super basic and bare bones, half of which are just reskins of Prison with all the fun features missing, of which any free Java and even Bedrock server easily has beat, that's when it begins to feel like a cash grab. If the game modes were as custom as some of the Java ones I've seen, I'd honestly have no issue with a paywall being in place. However, the fact that in addition to the modes being pay to play, they also have a variety of pay to win microtransactions, which are really expensive by Bedrock standards by the way. I couldn't find anything on the marketplace which costs more than 3,400 Minecoins, and Mineville has multiple purchases on their server that cost over 4,000. Once again, that's when things begin to look like a cash grab. Personally, I think that if you are going to be pay to play, you can't also be significantly pay to win on top of that. Like, pick one or the other. Most other Bedrock servers can function without being pay to play. So having sold over 20,000 basic Skyblock passes and over 13,000 expensive VIP ones should be more than enough to fund development and server operation. I don't have any issue with servers being pay to win, but being pay to win and pay to play is really something else. If you add up all the minimum revenue estimates from this video, you already get comfortably over $500,000, and that's not including the myriad of other purchasable goods as well as VIP passes. If we use our 10 times estimate, there's a decent chance that this server has made over $5 million, potentially even higher once you include all the other purchasable goods. I guess that goes to show that the pay-to-play model can really be successful on Bedrock. Now, to their credit, you can buy a game mode bundle that unlocks all of their 6 paywalled game modes for only about $10 US, so if you want to play multiple, you don't have to spend $30. Would have been nice to know earlier. But anyways, that's a look into a Minecraft server with potentially one-of-a-kind monetization that I've never seen anywhere else. I hope you all enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe, thank you all so much for watching.